Joe Farb. I had a career in sales. I'm now kind of semi-retired. And I originally went vegan after I'd met my wife and got married about 1992. My wife at that time was working for Big Pharma, selling chemicals into facilities that were raising animals for food, and I kind of learned for the first time and realized that I was complicit in buying and eating animals and facilitating some horrific things. Plus, I think I originally did it for my health, and also we decided to raise our kids vegan when and if we had any. I just thought that, yes, it was a healthier way to live. I had read many books through the years, and even though I grew up eating steaks and burgers and chickens and fish and everything, and if I didn't have one of those items, it didn't really even seem like a meal for the first 40 years of my life. Just really never, thought about, it was just food, and I just never really even thought about it. Read a book, I think it was Eat to Live, and so for breakfast, even before I went vegan, I was eating fruit for breakfast, just figuring it was just a healthier way to go. And I had read some books, and it just seemed like it was common sense to me that without, eating meat that took a long time to go through your digestive system, it just didn't seem like it would be as healthy as eating fruits and veggies and grains and all the good stuff.
So if it seems like common sense, why didn't you do it sooner?
Well, I was pretty unaware of what was going on in the dairy industry, and just like I said, burgers were just food. I never really thought about what was happening to the cows and the animals and the chickens. It was just food to eat, and it tasted good. And I was pretty ignorant and unaware of what was going on behind the scenes.
Was it just this book that made you aware?
Well, that and Joanne telling me what she was seeing in these animal factories, and she would come home crying sometimes, telling me what she was seeing, what was happening to the chickens and the cows and the dairy industry, and it just really opened my eyes. I can honestly say I just was not aware of it before. Or if I was, I guess maybe I didn't care. Maybe I just wanted to keep eating what I was eating, didn't want to change.
Did you have to learn how to make it healthy, or did you have any fear that hey, you might be missing out on a certain nutrient or something?
No, I can't say I really ever had any. You mean when I switched to a vegan diet?
Yeah, like when you're contemplating this originally. Here you are, and it's been, you said 40 years. It was hard to have a.
Well, now imagine about 32 years actually. Yeah, I've been vegan.
Was there any challenges there trying to figure out how to do this and make it healthy?
Not really. Yeah. not really. Joanne was doing most of the cooking, and about that time too, we went to our first Veg Fest, and I was starting to hear some doctors speak and some other individuals, talking about health and all the various other things that go along with eating animals.
Do you feel like you could have done it without her, or you couldn't have done it without her?
I probably could have. I don't know if I would have.
So you depended on her pretty heavily, maybe?
I would say at the start, and then I did agree when we got together to raise our kids vegans, just to set the example. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
You said to me one time, some of the proudest things that you've ever done. You delineated a few things. What are some of the proudest things?
I think it's one of the best things I've ever done to go vegan. Absolutely.
And also, you said maybe raising your kids this way.
Getting married, going vegan, and raising my kids. Yeah. I would say I'm more proud of that than probably anything I've done in my entire life. Wow. I feel pretty good about it.
What's a typical day of eating look like for you?
Oh, gosh, these days I get up and just have a glass of warm water, 2 or 3 pieces of fruit, a cup of tea, maybe some toast or muffin or something. And then I still do like to go out to eat, and I'm pretty happy with this veggie dishes. I like eating tofu and tempeh and any of the vegan, like lasagna, or just, any of the vegan dishes that you can make vegan and where you don't have to put the meat in it. I mean, they all taste pretty good to me.
When you go out to eat, is it hard to veganize stuff?
No, not really. No.
Do you ever try to avoid the word vegan?
Do I try to avoid the word vegan?
Or use a different word in fear of maybe somebody having a, some people may have a negative connotation.
No, I actually am kind of proud of it.
Nice.
And I really don't avoid it. Mm-hmm. And when I meet people, let them know I've been vegan a long time and just see what their reaction is. And if somebody's interested in learning more about it, I'm more than happy to talk about anybody.
Yeah. Do you try to encourage others to do this?
Yes, absolutely.
How do you go about that?
Well, I'm not very pushy. Mm-hmm. And basically just telling my story and how, look, I'll be 73. Mm-hmm. I'm not on any meds. I work out every day, pretty healthy. I just know most people my age are on a lot of meds and out of shape and not doing so well. Yeah. So if anybody wants, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about what I'm doing and why.
So I guess when you're trying to encourage others, maybe you just kind of live by example and share that.
Yeah, I would say that is correct.
Cool. Has a doctor ever suggested you need to consume animals?
No, I don't really see doctors too much, as little as possible. And no doctors ever suggested that to me.
Nice. Do you feel like there's anything different about raising children vegan than raising them non-vegan?
Yeah, it's absolutely a challenge out in the real world. I know raising our kids, we'd always have to pack food. We tried really hard to educate our kids as to why we're raising them vegans. We don't eat animals, we love them. That was always kind of the mainstay of our education. And basically the whole fabric of our lifestyle. We don't eat animals, we love them. We don't need to eat them to be healthy. But it was definitely a challenge.
What do you think were some of maybe the hardest, most difficult challenges, and how did you overcome those?
Well, it wasn't me that had to overcome it, it was our kids. Okay. And Serena was always happy to tell kids why they should be vegan and stuff, even going back to school and in kindergarten and up. And Sammy was a little bit different. She was a little more sensitive to it. Both of our kids have never really, they're now 30 and 26, and they've never really wanted to even try meat, to taste of anything, even though all their friends have, through the years, tried to get them to do that. They've really never had any desire, and I think that's pretty cool. It's their life, it's their decision, and we certainly don't force it upon them, but I feel like we've kind of educated them, and so...
So you've supported them, you've encouraged them, you've taught them, and you didn't push it?
Well, I wouldn't say we didn't push it. We lived it. We've always struggled finding a vegan community. And Summerfest provided that at least once a year for many years, where they would get together with other vegan kids. But many times, they were the only vegan around in their groups of friends.
I know that it was a little different in the beginning, but what was high school like?
Homeschooled Serena through about 8th grade and Sammy too, and then they both went to public high school. There were a couple vegan kids in both of their classes, not many, very few.
And then I guess to prepare them, you had to probably have some important talks with them. How might that go in case somebody's watching this trying to learn from a parent who's already been there, done that? Or was that more Joanne's job?
I wouldn't say that's her job, but she certainly did talk to him a lot. And we supported each other and we supported them, and we stuck together. We were not a divided household as far as one parent, vegan and one not. We'd met so many different vegan doctors and people through the years that they were continually being reinforced with the message that being vegan is an ethical way to live your life. Why support an industry that's killing animals and destroying the planet when you don't have to?
Did they ever come to you with anything that made you concerned about them being vegan in a public school?
Well, I think it was a challenge for both of them, always being different. But I encourage both of them to be, proud of being different and just stand up for what you believe in.
Did you have to prepare them special meals for every occasion, like when they go to visit friends, a party, school, stuff like that? Or did you have to talk to parents? Hey, our children are vegan.
Well, I know like early on in birthday parties and things like that, we'd have to send them with their own cookies or cakes or treats or whatever, so they wouldn't feel left out. We were in a group of homeschooling vegan parents through the years, different groups. So we did find some support, particularly when they were younger.
And do you feel like it's important for other people to consider raising their children this way?
Hell, I wish everybody raised their kids this way, you know?
And why is that?
I just think it's a more compassionate way to live. It's healthier. I mean, let's face it, this planet we're killing, millions of animals, billions of animals a year, all for eating, for wearing, for whatever, and we really don't have to be doing that as a society. Just ingrained in this country and all around the world, and it doesn't have to be that way.
What kind of supplements do you take?
I take vitamin D and vitamin B and C and a few other ones, and on and off through the years, change it. But I do take a vitamin B every day, and D and a couple other things.
When I'm asking people about what kind of food they like to eat, I like to see if they're hitting all of these categories. So you eat legumes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What are some legumes that you like to eat?
Lentils, beans, sure I eat all those. I like pasta. I know it's not real healthy, but I like some of these burgers now.
Oh, the like Beyond or
Impossible? Like Beyond and all that. And I know they're not really healthy for you, but I like the taste of them. So every now and then I'll have one.
Is there any kind of grains that you like in particular?
Well, I eat a lot of rice. A lot of rice. Quinoa, I would say those are probably the two main ones.
She has quite a variety up there. Is she more versed in that, I guess?
I would say so. Absolutely.
And then you have a great garden here, so you have a variety of greens as well.
That is true.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite greens?
Well, I like obviously lettuce and salads. Not so hot on kale, even though I'll eat it. But we also have tomatoes, and then we got, of course, strawberries and yeah.
So like when you say lettuce, you mean like romaine and stuff?
Yeah, romaine. Yeah.
And so strawberries, that hits the fruit. You like blueberries and strawberries as well?
I like about all fruits.
Yeah.
I try and switch them up.
So that's legumes, greens, grains, fruits, and veggies. There's probably some other veggies too, right? Is there any others that you might like that you might want to share?
I guess corn's not a veggie. I really like corn, maybe grain, like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, celery.
So legumes, greens, grains, fruits, veggies, mushrooms, you like those?
Sometimes, yeah. Mushrooms are good.
And nuts and seeds?
A few nuts and seeds, almonds, cashews I like.
And you probably eat more variety than we're mentioning here, right?
Absolutely. I'll eat what's on my plate. I really like veggie potlucks. I like being around like-minded people. And I like being around people that are looking at the bigger picture, what's going on in the world. And I think vegans, probably more so than your average person, are probably more aware and educated as to what's going on with our food system.
And you're able to access those people through these potlucks and special events like Vegan Summerfest. Are there any other events?
Oh yeah, we've had vegan picnics. Serena actually started LAVA, Lawrence Area Vegetarian Association, and they were doing picnics here in Lawrence, and we're part of the Kansas City Vegetarian Club, and there's a couple vegan restaurants still around that I'll go to every now and then.
What about like family? Has it ever been difficult with family and friends?
It's been a challenge. I'm the only one vegan in my family, and I don't really talk to my brothers. I got two brothers about it anymore because I haven't been able to change their minds. And you can't really, people have to decide for themselves what they're going to do with their food choices. And you encourage people to do it, but you can't force another person to change, particularly when it comes to something as personal as eating.
Do you have any suggestions for parents that we didn't hit on yet?
Health-wise, I think it's the best way to raise kids, number one, including breastfeeding from the very start. I think is the best way to give a kid a good start in life. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't go along with the pack just because it's easier. Follow your values and do what you feel in your heart is the right thing to do.